What is good, Renegade Nation? Before we begin the video, I want to give a big shout out to our most recent Patreon supporters and YouTube members. Elusive Fox, Goliath Burrito, Ceravix, Manut D02, Crispy Bacon, Julian Hernandez, Christian Simpson, Felix Osborn, William Fate Ward, Joseph Allen, Aaron Bates, XS7, Marcus 303, R. Griffin, Andrew Larman, Brady, Brian Imika Njoku, Zyman K, A7503, JK844, Ash, T Sunset, Charlie Wren, Timothy Kuene, and Borther Byron. And I would also like to give a big shout out to our executive producers, Bevan Brummett and Hades Belt, and welcome our new executive producers, Tavon and Alaskan Josh. Thank you all very much for your support. And if you want to become a Patreon supporter, feel free to click the link in the description to find out more. We'll see you there. Tally-ho, lads!
Lightsaber time, baby.
Use the Force, young Padawan. Oh my god!
Here we go, by God.
Yep, we got ourselves
Dead quick.
This video was recommended on our Discord. If you want to make a request, head over to our Discord. It's free. The link to it is down in the description. Should be one of the first things that you see. But, yeah. A lot of people have been asking us to watch Mr. Nightmare again. And, honestly, after the last one, I mean, I'm more than willing to. Because I had fun with that one. That one was the creepy neighbors story.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And now we're diving onto social media, where it's 3 disturbing true Instagram horror stories. You want to hear a true Instagram horror story? Instagram is owned by Meta. Ooh. Which is owned by Mark Zuckerberg. Ooh. Which uses its information to spy on people for the government. Ooh.
Well, they can have a lot of fun spying on my cat, then.
Yeah, they can have a lot of fun spying on my... Never mind.
I literally gave my Instagram to my cat. If you guys have an Instagram and you want to follow my cat, it's Mr. Vega the cat.
Yes. And
Most of my pictures are my cats,
VEGA the cat.
Nick also just had a photo commissioned for... are you going to make that the profile picture?
It is on Discord already.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
I commissioned Loviette from our Discord, and she drew me a One Punch Man style Vega to put as my profile picture on Discord.
And it looks great.
Yeah.
It looks great that he's just sitting there just like, all right, when's my next snack again?
In like 5 minutes.
Yeah. So Instagram is something that I have, but I don't use that often. I mean, there's like I just got a notification from Instagram right now, and it's from somebody oh wait, I know this guy.
Oh, you're against this from somebody I don't know.
That's what I thought, and then I looked at it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is Christian Mosley. He's a pro wrestler. Me and him linked up whenever we were at a show down in Atlanta, and cool enough guy. Of course, you know, my favorite wrestlers in this area are always going to be Chad Bartlett, and Chad. I'm joking, but yeah, Chad is one of my number ones, and then of course Marcus is another one, and then I would probably say
I like Chad's tag team partner.
Oh, Evan?
Yeah, Evan's hilarious.
Friggin' AC Reddick. Friggin' like a character all into himself. And of course, you know, there's just a bunch of talented wrestlers out there. Of course, Ricky Morton, too, which, you know, he's going to be retiring here soon, and that's kind of sad, but everyone's got their time. And also, rest in peace, Scott Hall. You know, he just passed away. But yeah, Instagram is something that I don't use as often, and I've received some pretty creepy stuff on it, but mostly it's from fans who just don't know when to call it a day, including some male fans who have sent me some pics of their anatomy, and I'm like, oh God, why?
What
it's like,
the heck?
on
Instagram?
Yes. And I'm just like, what the hell? He's just like, I just want to show my appreciation. I'm like,
okay.
dude, no.
Not
Like,
appreciated.
I'm
Not
like,
appreciated.
No.
Look, if that's what you're about, man, cool. If you know you're all about that, but bro, I'm not gay. Let's just emphasize that, all right? I am not gay. And he's just like,
That's random.
Yeah,
like,
well,
why the heck?
because people just love to share, like they think they're just like thinking to themselves, I got to stand apart from everyone else. I can't just write a comment that says thank you for doing what you do. Oh God, okay. Oh, their DMs are open. Okay. Dick pic. Oh shit. Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay.
It's like I don't know how the mind works with that. I
Yeah.
don't like.
So I don't know about gay dudes. I've not really talked to any on the subject, but I know straight women don't even want to see that. Like, so I don't understand the mentality of thinking that that's a good idea.
Well, most men, especially when it comes to that, don't photograph very well.
It's not an attractive body part.
It's like that spare. It's like a spare piece of like the elbow that was left over. That guy was just like, all right, put it there.
God.
Sorry. But overall, okay. There's some disturbing
It's
stuff.
like my
on
favorite
Instagram.
comedian has like a whole fucking bit on like not doing that. Yeah.
Freaking.
It's like, what if you sent it to like, you know, some girl that's studying to be a nurse or is a nurse, and like, what if there's a weird vein you didn't know you weren't supposed to have?
Oh my God.
Next thing you know, she's gonna be sending it to all her friends. # weird dick.
Oh,
Jeez.
Just Photoshop your dick into a weird comedy picture, and it becomes the next trending thing online. And then it's like all of a sudden you just, you know, it's like, hey, have you seen that thing? And it's like, no. And it's like, what are you talking about? And it's like, hey, look. And it's like, oh fuck, that's my bathroom.
oh Lord. Well, there's a bunch of horrifying things on Instagram, and honestly, I'm concerned about what we're gonna see here.
Yeah,
but
please.
let's go ahead and get into it.
One of those pictures.
Disturbing true Instagram horror stories. Oh God, no. Here we go.
I'm sure most of you use Instagram this day and age. Whether you have a big following or none at all, it's just something most of society uses. Apparently the app has over 1 billion active users, which I find insane. I had
Pretty
about
crazy.
300 followers at the time this happened. I live in a rural town, so I guess that's a lot for people around us. We don't know a lot of people outside of our districts. One night watching a movie, my phone vibrated. It said a girl named Holly started following me on Instagram. So I opened up Instagram to check out her profile. And she was this really gorgeous blonde girl with like 5,000 followers. She had about 50 pictures. They were all spaced out realistically as far as the dates they were posted. Usually when I get followers like this, I'll check to make sure they're actually legit. She got like 600 likes per picture and a bunch of comments from guys I assume she didn't even know, leaving hearts and drooling emojis and whatever. Then, I kid you not, as I was going through her page, before I even followed her back, she DM'd me. She said, "Hey, I honestly don't do this a lot, but I thought you're really cute." To be honest, and not to sound like a douche, I am pretty fit and I've been told I'm pretty attractive. And I have had some girls DM me in the past. So I followed her back and DM'd her the same, saying I think you're cute too. Then we went on to have a pretty long conversation, but it was going really well. We talked about fitness and what high schools we went to, and honestly it was great. She gave me her number, and we quickly got to setting up a meetup for the next night, which was a Friday night. We agreed we'd meet at a popular bar called Lucky's for a couple drinks. So Friday night, as the nerves are starting to kick in, I prepare myself for this little date. Never had I gone on a date straight from an Instagram DM, but this girl was downright gorgeous. I drove down to Lucky's and sat in my car in the parking lot, awaiting her call or text to let me know she was there. Eventually she did text me, but not to let me know she was there. She said her car broke down and she needed a ride. I had to reread it a couple times to be sure I was reading it correctly. I tried calling her, but she didn't accept the call. She texted me describing her location. I didn't answer just yet. I took one more good look at her Instagram profile, and it was definitely real. She had friends tagged in her pictures, commenting on her pictures, so I knew I wasn't getting catfished. I texted back on my way, and off I went. I drove down the quiet side roads towards the location she described. I made it, but it was a weird
First thing
spot
I would
for
do
a
to
car
Google
have
real
broken
quick
down.
her name. Just make sure she's not any news articles is missing recently or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be. Also, I mean, I usually go 3 to 4 layers deep on someone's profile before I'm like, okay, I will meet up with them, or I'm like, if I notice something that's a little off-putting, I'm like, nah, not happening.
I saw a car pulled off to the side of the road next to the woods. Actually, there were woods on either side of this road. The car had its hood open, so it had to be her. I tried calling, but it didn't go through. I looked at my phone and realized I had no bars here. I parked my car on the other side of the road and got out. As I walked over to her car, which was a black Nissan Altima, I realized I couldn't see inside of it at all. The windows were completely tinted black. I lightly tapped on the window and waited. No one opened the door, so I walked around to the front hood, just to see if she had attempted to do any work on the engine, I guess. As far as I could tell, she didn't. I was losing patience. I texted her, "Where are you? I'm about to leave." As I walked back to the side of the car, I noticed the driver's side window had now been cracked down. I knew for a fact they were all shut a minute ago. I called Holly's name, knowing someone had to be in the car now. As I walked a little closer to get a look inside, someone's fist reached out from the window, and they started signaling for me to come closer with their pointer finger. I felt my stomach drop, realizing it was definitely a man's hand.
Oh,
I
shit.
told him in a shaky voice, "Get lost," as I ran back to my car. I sped away and made the first right turn off the street I could. Because of my constant glances in the rearview mirror, I eventually spotted a car with its lights off trailing behind me. I thought to do the same. I turned off the lights on my car and started making as many turns as possible, and eventually I did lose the car. When I got home, the profile had already blocked me, but I found out at a later date that that profile was in fact real, but that the girl in the pictures was hacked by some creepy dude, and I wasn't even this only guy's victim of whatever plan he had. I just hope everyone else was as fortunate as me.
Wow.
Again, that's why I carry a pistol.
Also, I'm
I
always
haven't-
extremely suspicious, and I guess this is as not being a dude that, you know, works out enough to post like muscle pictures and shit, like to ever attract that kind of attention. But like, anytime a girl online messages me, I'm always like, well, this is fake. Because it's always scammers or somebody like just trying to fucking
It
be a
keeps
weirdo.
happening on Facebook. I keep getting like these all these profiles that are like, I want to be your friend, and I look at their profile. It's just like link to OnlyFans, link to this here, link to Cash App, link to. I'm like, oh, okay, no.
Well, I mean, yeah, like women will do that now because they're trying to advertise their OnlyFans and shit, and that's a different thing. But
no, but
I'm
I
talking.
look at their pictures, and it's a different woman in every picture.
Oh yeah, well,
Oh.
in that case,
Yeah,
But-
I'm like, yeah, they use an attractive woman as like the main profile picture, but then you look deeper on the account, you go one layer deep into the photos, and it's like, okay, that's not the same person, and respond, not interested.
They also target like single,
Single people,
like
yeah.
not elderly, but like middle-aged single adults.
Yes.
That are, you know, that seem lonely or whatever, and what they do is they like reel them in, and then they start asking for money and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Every time.
I've known a few people that have experienced that.
Unbelievable.
for the most part, like all I've ever gotten was like back when it was like earlier in the internet days, like in social media days, like early Facebook days, like it would be like, a hot chick profile, and then they'd be like, hey, what's up? And be like, not much, what about you? And then be like, hey, I was wondering if you could go to my website and like, I'll share pictures with you and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, nah, I'm good. And it's
But
like,
think
don't
of how
be
many
like
people
their response usually starts not making sense as to what you're replying, and you can tell it's automated at a point.
Yeah.
It's like I always answer like sometimes it's just like, "Hey, how are you?" Like, "Are you a robot?" "Huh, I'm not a robot." "Ha ha." "Are you sure you're not a robot?" "Come to my website." "Aha."
Now anymore, it's just like if I get a friend request from anyone, I'm like, what mutual friends do we have? And if it's like none or like one or two, I'm usually just like, do I actually know this person? No. Then I'm just deleting the request. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually those websites that they share with you are not protected. They have no DDoS protection. So if I could order like a DDoS attack on somebody to like take down their website, I would do that.
Mm-hmm.
I would like they would literally just be like, come to my website here. It's like, all right, copy website link. Hey man, can you orchestrate a DDoS attack on this spam website? Yeah, sure, bro. I'm like, okay. Thank you very much. Here's $10. And that website will never be able to like message you again because they'll be shut down.
I haven't run into the scam women in quite a number of years now. It's all the fucking Steam friends who get their accounts hacked, and it's like, hey,
same.
hey, hey, man, what's up? Hey, man, not much.
you
Long
vote for
time no
my-
speak. And it's like, can you do me a favor? It better not be voting for your Counter-Strike team. Can you vote for my Counter-Strike team at this link? And me, get a real job.
Instagram account with 1,100 followers. I had it set to public so anybody could come onto my page and look at my pictures, like them, and comment on them. So oftentimes I'd get people I didn't know liking my pictures and commenting on them. But one person stood out from the rest. I remember his first comment on one of my photos. It was a beach picture with one of my friends. So I was wearing a swimsuit. I had like 11 comments on it, but one of them was from somebody I didn't know. It was 3 flame emojis. I clicked the man's profile. He had 3 pictures, 80 followers, and he was following over 200 people, including me. All 3 of his pictures were of him, selfies, which didn't look right given that he looked like he was 40 or 50. I didn't mind though, it's expected to happen to a certain extent. However, after that photo, it started becoming a thing where the man would just comment on every new photo I posted. One comment just said hot. This one was a little creepier, honestly. But then 2 days later, after posting my next picture, the man didn't comment this time. Instead, he sent me a direct message. It said, "Hey, I just wanted to tell you that you're beautiful, even though I'm like 30 years older than you, LOL. I responded, LOL, thanks, which I'm surprised I did. Most people would have probably ignored it. He got back to me with, I would kill to meet a girl like you. I replied 10 minutes later with thanks, hoping he wouldn't say anything else. But he got back to me with, maybe one day I'll meet you, ... LOL. I didn't reply to that one. I found everything about the guy creepy, but I didn't block him. I figured, why get rid of a free follow and likes? I hadn't heard from him until I posted a new photo. This one of my sister Carol and I in front of our house. The man commented quickly on the photo, saying, you and your sister are so cute. Now it was becoming too much for me, so I removed the comment and blocked him. Later in the day, Carol and I were home alone. I was in the bathroom doing my nails.
Yeah, be smart. Don't ever post your house on
I noticed a
Instagram.
car I
Yeah,
didn't recognize
that's
pulled up
pretty
in front of the house.
stupid.
through
Don't
the
post your
window.
house on anything.
No.
No.
Don't post your home address. Don't like. This is the thing I worry about with a lot of people. Like if we. Meow. Oh, where you at, girl? There she is. Yeah, there's that cutie.
Like I posted like a picture. No, it's Quinn that posted the picture on Facebook, like of our front door, but like there's no number on it, and it was just the door. So it's like that's fine, but it's like you can't put that door to a house specifically.
Not
But like
really,
if
no.
you're gonna like post a picture in your front yard, like face away from your house, like and other landmarks that people could use to pinpoint your location.
Well, and here's okay, and anyone out there who shows up to my house uninvited, I have 3 friends that y'all can meet, and all of them go boom.
You can go see Nick then, okay?
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
She loves Nick. Look at that long tail.
He's cute, baby.
Like a snake.
He's a cute baby.
There he goes.
Cute,
Look
cute.
at her. Look at the this puts our minds at ease from
Distraction.
these creepy stories.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah. Hey, Callie. There she is.
Hi. Come here.
Oh, there's another purr box. Hey, come here. Hey. All right, but anyway, let's
Hello.
Oh. But only the front. The rest of the car was covered by the bush that separates our front yard from the neighbors. The headlight shut off, but I didn't see anyone step out of the car. I took note of this only because we're on a dead-end block, so we don't get any through traffic. I shut the blind just because I was on full display. My sister was in her room on her laptop when the time came for me to leave. I didn't bother saying goodbye. Usually we just text each other that we're going out anyway. I went to my car, looking at the mysterious car, which revealed to be a Maxima. The tinted windows mixed with the darkness of the night made it impossible to see inside of it. I got in my car, did a 3-point turn, and drove down the one-sided street to the nearest main road. I went to a social gathering at a friend's house. I wouldn't call it a party, but a decent amount of drinking went on. I cut myself off a little early since I knew I had to drive, but still, I'll admit, and I don't condone this kind of behavior whatsoever, I was pretty tipsy when I was driving home. It was only a 5-minute drive though. I pulled up to my house, and the first thing I noticed was the Maxima still parked out front. I needed to know whose car was that. I passed it slowly, but still couldn't see inside of it. I parked and texted a few friends that I got home safe before stepping outside and walking up to my house. I was eyeing that car parked out front all the way up to the front door, where I dropped my keys, at which point, for whatever reason, I was too scared to bend over and look for them. Instead, I rang the doorbell like 5 times so my sister would answer quickly. She never answered the door though, so I was forced to get on my knees and look for the keys. They actually landed right on the doormat. I opened the door and went inside pretty swiftly, taking one last look at the Maxima before shutting the door. It was past midnight, but my sister was usually still up this late, so I dizzily but quietly walked up the stairs and down the hall towards her door. And oddly enough, it was wide open, but the lights were out. Maybe she went out for once. I crept into the room, and my heart skipped a beat, as my mind tried to put together the faint noise I was hearing. It took me a while to realize it was a whisper. The whisper of my sister. It was coming from the closet. The closet was cracked open, and I saw my sister peeping her eyes through the crack. She was visibly shaken and appeared to be crying. I knelt down next to her and opened the closet all the way, whispering, "What's going on?" She didn't say anything though. She just kept putting her finger on her lips, telling me to be quiet. I tugged at her arm to pull her out of the closet, and when she was out, I pushed the closet shut quietly. This revealed my sister's room again, as well as somebody clear as day standing direct center in my sister's room. I don't know if he was facing us or not, but that didn't matter, because we both wailed as we ran together. I felt the vibrations of the man stomping close behind us. We went straight for the car. I was able to lock the doors without even a second to spare before the man chasing us tried the door handle. When he realized it was locked, he started bashing at the window with his shoulder, all while my sister was screaming and wailing, making the matter worse. Through the intensity of the situation, I still was able to make the connection. It was the same man who had been stalking me on Instagram. I had to do a 3-point turn, but all the while I was honking the horn to get as much attention as possible from the neighbors. I think it worked, because he got into his car, which turned out to be the Maxima, and did a 3-point turn as well. At first we thought he was tailing us, but instead he booked it past us and down another street to never be seen again. At that point, we just turned around and went back to the house. I called our parents and then the police. The police were able to find out how the man broke in, through an upstairs window. He climbed up a ladder onto the awning and boosted himself up to the windowsill. I told the police about how he was stalking me on Instagram and must have somehow found my address when I posted my most recent picture with my sister, which included my house number. I tried to help her by giving the man's
Be
Instagram
careful.
account,
That's so
but when I went to the blocked accounts section, it was empty. That meant that the man already deleted his Instagram. Therefore, even if there is a way for Instagram to track deleted users, it didn't matter because I didn't remember the man's username. So I hate to say it, but there was nothing the police could do, and I knew it. I've since set my Instagram to private and really only accept follow requests from people I know now. I'm also a lot more paranoid and wary of posting revealing photos.
Yeah, if that was true, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Again, this is why I'm armed, and I mean, I don't care for the world to know that.
And
Man,
we
even
don't
if you're
post
armed, just-
anything about
You gotta
the
be
house.
smart with social media, man.
Yeah, because
It's like so many people are so careless and just like give away every aspect of their lives, including like fucking where they live and shit. And it's just like, dude, like you were just asking, like you're broadcasting to the creepiest of the creepers, like
yeah,
how to find you. And
all
that like
all it takes is one of them looking at your profile and just being like, "Wow."
it's like
really
they're
cute.
probably stalking just long enough to hear a post, like, or to see a post between blah blah blah, just to be like, you know, it's like, all right, does this person have people they live with and stuff like that?
Yeah,
Like,
and don't
they're-
share your location either.
They're using their creepy investigative, like, stalkeriness to learn enough about you to like target you once they figure out that you're a prime target.
Weaponized autism. That's what it is.
Like, especially if you live by yourself, like, I mean, honestly, especially like women who live by themselves, like, I personally recommend that you sort of fabricate your posts a little bit, like talk about your roommates, even if you don't actually have roommates, like stuff like that. Just be fucking careful, though.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Be careful, and also, you know, stay safe, and, you know, arm yourself against, like, just in case the worst case scenario happens.
And always be aware of your surroundings as well, because it's not just on the internet. It
Oh,
can
no.
happen
It can
in
happen
broad
anywhere.
daylight. So
I mean, people have tried, like, honestly, I've seen people be robbed in broad daylight.
Dude, like, every time
Like,
I
they had
pull in the
purses and, like, bags torn away from them.
Every time I pull in the neighborhood, even though I'm a dude, like, I've noticed cars following behind me a couple times, and I'm like, all right, if I get to the cul-de-sac and they're still behind me, I'm gonna fucking whip a U-turn around the cul-de-sac, because,
yeah, I do that too.
like, most of it, and then
It
there's a
hasn't
couple
happened to
times
me
where
yet,
I've
but
been
yeah.
behind people coming into the neighborhood, and I'm like, man, like, I hope they don't think I'm stalking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, because I have that feeling too. It's like whenever a car is on me more than 3 turns, I'm just like, all right, this fucker's following me.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when I get down to the one road that pulls up into our main living area, like, all of a sudden they're just like, they keep going down the other road, and I'm like, oh, well, okay then, we're good, we're good. And then I'm like,
It's
what?
just a
but-
doctor.
But what if he follows me? But what if he follows me more next time? What if this is just his way of learning where I live, and he doesn't think I'll notice if he follows me a little bit more next time? That's where my mind is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my thing too,
Yeah.
because I'm just like, I'm not pulling into my house with someone behind me that I think could be following me.
Unless it's someone I know. Unless
My
it's-
fucking friends
unless
one
my
time.
friend's following me.
Yeah, my fucking friends one time though, like Chance and Andrew, you dickheads, actually found me while in someone else's car out in public, and instead of getting my attention at that point, decided to follow me back to my house. And
I would have been so mad.
like, so like, you know, my parents
What's going on?
my parents live where you have to turn off of a street into their driveway, so I just fucking passed the house and kept going. And then I get a phone call from Chance a couple seconds later, and he's like, hey man, And I was like, what's up? I think I might be being followed at the moment. And he's like, yeah, it's me. And I'm just like, you fucking ass.
You asshole. You dick.
I was like, you followed me from like the other fucking side of town. Like, what are you doing? Why didn't you say anything before now? He's like, we were just honestly trying to mess with you. And I'm like, well, it fucking worked.
You dick. Oh.
I came across something recently that has been freaking me the hell out. Before I get into my discovery, let me just get into a little backstory that makes the discovery even more disturbing. For the past few weeks or so, on several occasions, while either trying to sleep in my bed or doing something in my room with a light on at night, I would hear a single, faint yet audible tap on my window. I hardly want to call it a tap, because none of the sounds really resembled an intentional tap. It sounded more so like something accidentally being scraped or pressed against the glass very briefly. At first I thought it was just bugs flying into the window, but as the same sound kept happening at least 2 or 3 times a week, I started to get freaked out by it. So I told my dad, and he of course told me it's nothing, probably just bugs like I initially thought.
Tink.
So nothing happened for a few nights. But then I got a text from a friend. Well, not a friend, just some guy I used to have a class with who somehow coerced me into giving him my number. He said, hey, I don't know if you remember me. We used to have a class together. I just wanted to let you know about this. I stumbled upon it by accident, and if you're unaware of it, that's pretty disturbing. Then he added a link to the bottom of the message. I pressed it, and it took me to an Instagram page. The page was titled JP Unofficial. Those were my initials, but that wasn't the first thing I noticed. The first thing I noticed was the profile picture, which was me. And then the 45 pictures uploaded to that account were all of me. They weren't like pictures that I took though, they were all candid. I mean, like, they were pictures I never even knew were taken. Some were of me at the beach, some were of me sitting in my car, but the newer ones got even weirder.
Hell no.
No.
Some were of me in my backyard. And then the worst ones were the most recent.
Through
There
the
were
window.
pictures of me in my room, taken from outside my window. Some of me sitting on my bed doing homework or texting, others of me standing, with one even of me in my underwear. I felt sick. I felt like crying and throwing up. All of the pictures had at least 2 or 3 likes. Some had comments, but not comments pointing out how wrong this is. They were comments encouraging it, saying things like, go for it, or hot, or what I'd do if I could get my hands on her. The captions on the photos too. They were all things like, the love of my life, or she went to the beach today, or I just like to watch her. My mouth was twitching as a tear rolled down my face. I was so disturbed, I can't
Fucking
even
creepy
describe
bastard.
the emotions I was feeling. And then, there was a sound again at the window. The sound. The unintentional scrape or tap. And then it clicked. It made sense now. When I put 2 and 2 together, I simply snapped. I lost it and screamed louder than I'd ever screamed before. My dad came rushing in with open arms to hug me and ask what's wrong. I showed him the Instagram page and explained the taps at the window. Well, explained is a stretch. I was a mess and could barely speak clearly. My dad's expression went from gentle to horrified to downright angry. He rushed
I would be.
outside
Yeah.
screaming, making a scene for the neighbors, looking for the stalker. He then came inside and called the police. I gave the police the Instagram account and requested they track it as soon as possible. Law enforcement put the request into Instagram. By the time it was received, the account was deleted, but it didn't matter because Instagram was still able to recover the info, and the usage was traced to an old iPod Touch. Unfortunately, the device was untraceable. It was either destroyed or it had its Wi-Fi turned off permanently. My dad saw how messed up I was, and he plans on moving us out of the house within the month. Luckily, there haven't been any new sounds, but I've also made sure to keep all my blinds shut 24/7 and always make sure I'm not being tailed while driving.
Wow.
All I could think to say to everybody is keep your Instagram private and always be alert to your surroundings.
Yep. Keep everything private.
Yeah, like, if you're going to put yourself out there, be safe about it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can say. Oh, God, dude. Wow.
That's crazy.
I can't help but just think, like, how that could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
That could happen to me. That could happen to you. That could happen. Like, it literally happened to, like, my nephews, and it's terrifying.
These kind of stories
Yeah,
really
you
are
really
disturbing.
need to
Like
talk
one of
to
the
Ash about that.
Oh yeah, because they're getting into the point where they are posting stuff on social media and all that, and they need to be careful.
One of the creepiest stories I've ever heard was from the No Sleep podcast, which is obviously from the No Sleep Reddit, like, you know, that they read stories from. And it was about a dude that when he was a kid,
It's okay.
their elementary school sent out balloons with the P.O. box for the school attached to it so that they could get like a random pen pal for whoever found the balloon. This creepy motherfucker ended up stalking this kid, like, from the time he was like a young kid until he was like in his teens or later.
Are you kidding?
Jesus.
Why would the school do that? That is
Yeah.
wow.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things that, like, people just don't think about. They're like, this will be a fun project for the kids, and they don't think about, like,
no.
you know, how dangerous
No.
it could be. Like, if a dangerous person gets a hold of a contact information with a kid, like, what could happen?
I remember they had the pen pal thing with us, and we were pen pals with kids at a high school that was in what was it? It was somewhere in Arkansas. I remember that.
Were you in elementary school at the time?
Yes.
I still don't think that's a good idea.
And
There's even, like, some creepy fucking people that are creepy when they're in, like, their teens. Like,
but we were in elementary school, and we were pen pals with kids who were also elementary school kids.
oh, I thought you said
Oh, I
you were
thought you
pen
said
pals
high
with
school.
high school
Sorry,
kids.
no. Sorry, we were in primary school, and we were pen pals with other kids who were in primary school.
Like, I could see, like, elementary school pen paling with middle school, because you could, like, ask the middle schoolers questions about, like, how's it different from elementary school? You know, like, if you're a fifth grader and you get to pen pal with a sixth grader and just be like, what's it like at the new school? You know, and, like, talk to them about what to expect. Like, that could be fun.
And then, like, have
But-
friends when you transitioned to, but I would.
But
I
just
would
sending
think,
a kid's, like, name and
Yeah.
existence out into the world, like, haphazardly is not the best idea.
No,
No,
I
it
think
isn't.
like containing it in the same building would be a good idea. Like, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
talking to the same,
Probably, yeah. Talking to the
or you know, from the same area. You
Yeah.
know, like they're in the same vicinity. You know,
I mean,
school
maybe that.
district or whatever.
Well, again, there's no getting around the fact that, you know, there are creepy people out there, and the internet just makes it easier for them to contact people at random. All the social media, all the various places and forums on the internet, and here's the other thing about the internet too. The internet is not 100% cataloged. That's what a lot of people don't realize. What we see here on these websites are what are cataloged versus the dark web or the deep web. The deep web is 70% of all internet traffic. And it's stuff that happens on unsecured Tor browsers and just, you know, peer-to-peer. You have all these different things that you can look at. And I had a friend who got onto the dark web one time, and he found a website. It was based in Europe, by the way, called Candy Palace. And
He's
hold on
lucky
one moment.
the FBI didn't show up at his house.
yeah, kind of messed up. if I can be perfectly honest. So
Holy
I would have
shit.
told my friend they were kind of.
I saw that, or he saw that. He's like, dude, this is like, no, this is disgusting, man.
I'd be like, why did you even go looking for that?
He didn't. That's the thing. Sometimes you click random links on certain sites, and it takes you anywhere.
That's a horrible idea.
I know it is. That's why
Just stay off of it.
That's
That's
why
all
the
I
deep
could
web
say.
is something that is difficult. It's impossible to. I know that there's several deep web things that have been shut down.
Dude, they straight up built a horror game around the concept of clicking through those random links and shit. Like,
Oh, they've done that a few times.
as, what's it called? Welcome to the Game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's crazy the type of people that lurk on there. I know that there's several websites that have, on the deep web that have been shut down, such as Silk Road, which was like the big drug buying website on there. They shut that down a few times. Then there's another one that's like Hitman, like hire a hitman, and you can literally send them like $1,000 and they'll kill someone.
What the heck?
The internet is terrifying. It's amazing. It's an amazing
Well,
tool.
I've
but
never
it's
gone on, nor do I
terrifying.
ever plan to go on to the deep web.
Yeah, I've been on it once or twice, and I'm not going back. My brain cannot take the amount of just blech on there. Sorry.
Not to mention, it's you're literally like gambling, like with your potentially your life by going on that shit.
You are, but at the same time, if you have a
Like if someone traces back to you, like, and I mean, like you can secure all you want, like use a VPN, whatever. Like there's probably ways to get around that shit and like find you over the
there
internet.
is and there isn't. If you still have it in the United States, and me, I had mine set to like the UK. And people, and like I had no one come back to me on that. No one was able to like get back to me, like trace.
I
me
just
on
still
that.
don't trust it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I made sure everything was updated so I didn't have any like leaks. Nothing could get through. But again,
I mean, people wear 2 condoms and use birth control and still get pregnant sometimes. I mean,
again, I understand that. But again, hey, maybe that's why I don't have kids. Maybe I'm just lucky like that. Knock on
I'm
wood.
just not going on to start with. Fuck that noise.
All right. But anyway, that's going to do it, everyone. This was 3 disturbing true Instagram horror stories. My Mr. Nightmare. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and hopefully we will see you all in the next one. But until then, I'm Nate.
I'm Kate.
I am Nick.
See you later, everybody. Peace.
See ya.
Backtrack, turn back the page. Right, lights, be so rough. Time just tough. Life stays that way. Time